Hello, this is News Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV News Studios in Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, pandemonium as tanker explodes in IKEJA axis of Lagos. EFCC recovers $261 million, 6 billion naira, and 13,000 pounds illegally acquired by criminals. American media personality La Anthony files for divorce from her husband. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson suffers embarrassing defeat at a parliamentary by-election. Thanks for joining us on News Now, and here are the big stories we are tracking at this hour. Michael Nath. We'll begin with the latest development on the inferno that happened in Lagos earlier today. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service has so far recovered 3 male adult bodies and rescued 13 victims, 4 females and 9 males. All adults are suffering varying degrees of burns from the gas explosion that occurred. They were consequently taken to Lasut and Bagada Burns and Trauma Center for treatment. Director, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Adesheria Margaret, made the disclosure at the scene of the unfortunate incident. A truck heading towards IKEJA earlier today exploded from a leakage, which traveled through atmospheric conditions to meet an ignition point on the ground floor of the Opik Plaza that houses restaurant, among other outlets. As reliably gathered, not less than 25 vehicles of various brands, including the gas truck and the rear section of the plaza building, was damaged by the inferno. The federal lawmaker representing YAURI, Sangaya and Gaski, Yusuf Tanko Sumunu, has condemned the attack and abduction of 30 students and 3 teachers of the Federal Government College Benin Yauri in KEBBI State. The lawmaker is calling on the federal government and the security agencies to come to their aid, as the community is presently living in fear with all farming activities grounded to halt.
We have another calamity when bandits mentioned by eyewitness numbering about 250 to 300, each with AK-47 rifle and using a very strong motorcycles, came into my constituency areas of Kimo, Kambwa, Emaraya, Laka, Kolio, and near neighboring areas. And they have a field day and operated for almost more than 8 hours, following house to house, room to room, collecting money, handsets, motorcycles, and cattle. And they have taken a lot of cattle from that area. City guards, police that are guarding the Federal Government College, Benin Yauri, and they made inroad into the school. They succeeded in kidnapping some teachers and unaccountable number of students as we are talking right now. And some students and some security men are currently receiving care at General Hospital Yauri following a gun injury they have sustained. I told you that previously a week they were also there. This has really called for a concern. And as a representative of the people under whose auspices I'm here to represent them, I find it that I have to come here and make a call on the federal government.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has lamented the mass abduction of school children, particularly girls in Nigeria, is posing a serious threat to the future of children and development of education in the country. The organization said efforts must be ramped up by both federal and state governments to protect learning facilities and well-being of children in the country, considering the rising wave of kidnapping and other security challenges. The chief of UNICEF Field Office, Kano Mulud Walfa, said this during the signing of commitment for the continuation of girls' education project by the Emir of Daura, Umar Farouk Umar, at his palace. The UNICEF representative said the kidnapping of school children is a worrisome development in the education sector. The GOVT program, funded by Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK, is being implemented by UNICEF in 6 northern states of Katsina, Bauchi, Niger, Zamfara, Sokoto and Kano to support right girls' enrollment, retention and transition in school. Clean Foundation have embarked on awareness campaign across government secondary schools in Edo South Sectorial District. Now, during the awareness exercise, the state coordinator Blessing Eromon lamented Edo had the highest number of human trafficking in Nigeria.
These children young, the issue of trafficking can actually be curbed. The thing is, we agree that we cannot stop it totally, but I believe it can be reduced to the barest minimum. So we're starting like this, informing these children about the dangers of human trafficking in their future, how it affects their future. They can be able to make the wise decision, the correct decision, the right decisions that will affect their future.
It's one of the reasons. 85% is a lot from 100. But one of the beautiful things about it is that we can actually reduce it to the barest minimum, and that's why we're calling every stakeholder. It's not a one-person thing.
These traffickers, they don't come with the intention of telling us what we are going to do there. They come to deceive us, to tell us that their jobs are waiting us there, or maybe we are going there to school. But with the NAP tips today, we have got to know that these traffickers come in different means, in deception, in tricky ways, and most times they also take these people to swear an oath that if they are to say anything, something bad might happen to them.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has, in the last 100 days, recovered $261 million, 6 billion naira, and 13,000 pounds illegally acquired by suspected criminals. EFCC Chairman Abdurrashid Mbawa gave these details during the Presidential Media Team ministerial briefing at Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. Also recovered by the Anti-Graft Agency were 30 real estates, 32 automobiles, farmland and other properties acquired by suspected fraudsters. The Commission said it was set to prosecute 800 cybercrime cases in various courts beginning from next week. The agency also vowed to proceed with corruption cases against former governors, ministers and ex-bank chiefs. Bawa, in addition, outlined plans to go after car, jewelry dealers and real estate developers who may be serving as conduits for money laundering. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has warned newly sworn-in chairmen of the 23 local government areas of the state not to approach any financial bank to borrow money without first clearing with the state government. The governor gave the warning shortly after the elected chairmen of the 23 local government areas of the state took their oath of office at the banquet hall of the government house, Port Harcourt. Governor Wike also charged the council chairman to pay proper attention to issues of security in order to stem likely security breaches in their various councils.
Go and borrow money without the state government approval. Some of you tried last time. Even we as state government, before we borrow money, we get approval from the debt management process. No bank will even give us. You must have meetings from time to time so that everybody will feel safe. You must also monitor your traditional rulers. If you think you have 3 years, 3 years is tomorrow. 3 years is tomorrow. The chairman of Andoni, you didn't go to Andoni now to continue to divide the local government as it has been. You should try and work with everybody and unite the place. It's important. Issue of sanitation. What will put you into trouble is the sanitation in your area. All the former council chairmen, all the public appointees and councillors must first be paid their money before anything will happen. People who have worked must earn their wages. If any councillor is not sworn in then you face for the war. I don't understand how people behave. You play politics, if God has given you the opportunity. If people say you will not go back, God have not said you have gone back. What is your problem? So don't start what you know you cannot finish.
Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-RUFAI is optimistic that the All Progressives Congress will be victorious in the by-election for the vacant seats in the Kaduna State House of Assembly. The Independent National Electoral Commission had fixed Saturday to conduct the by-election for the Sabongari constituency seat. Addressing the people of Sabongari ahead of the poll, Governor El-RUFAI led some top APC members in the state to the final campaign rally to canvass support for the party's candidate Musa on Thursday. He said the APC has done well for the state in delivering its campaign promises to deserve the mandates of the people in the election. The governor called on all registered voters to come out and vote on Saturday for the continued progress and stability of the constituency. The seat, which was initially occupied by the former Speaker of the House, Aminu Shagali, was declared vacant in April. State governors of the People's Democratic Party on Thursday said the current crop of presidential spokesperson do not represent or position the president in a proper manner. The Governors Forum, in a statement signed by its Director General, Honorable Ciid Madu Abum, was responding to a statement issued by presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu. Shehu had been responding to a communique put out by the PDP Governors Forum on Monday. The PDP governors lambasted Shehu's views on revenue remittance by the NNPC and the state of Nigeria's foreign exchange market. They also tackled him on his position on the ongoing Twitter ban in Nigeria, the administration of mining across the country, and the role of local governments in national development. The West African Young Statisticians Association on Thursday emphasized the need for synchronization of data in boosting the national and economic development of the nation. The call was made during the second biennial international workshop and conference on economic and social goods forecasting held at University of Ibadan Conference Center. Speaking at the event, Commissioner for Public Works, Infrastructure and Transport, Oyo State, Daud Sengo Doyin, has said provision should be made for data accessibility.
Data needs data guides. When data guides and you analyze data using scientific tools, then you will make logic out of it. One thing is it will drive the economy, it will assist the educational system, it will assist the health sector, it will actually help us to guide or improve on the security.
Sustainable capacity building. That's the only way we can develop our country, as we can see, as a proof. You know, the developing countries are data-driven somehow.
Where we are talking of data, you know, to be able to do all these things, we need data. We need to know how many of us are even planning for. So we don't have appropriate data, it now becomes a problem. And most of the times, what I really realize with this thing is that lack of probably funding. Even those people that are supposed to do the work, are they really well equipped to be able to carry out all these activities?
You're watching News Now, reaching you from iBrand News Studios. You're in Lagos. We'll take a break now and come back with more stories. Stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. It's Blemiviv Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiviv family.
Zambia's founding president, Kenneth Kaunda, who led his country for 27 years and championed Africa's struggles against apartheid and human immunodensity or deficiency virus, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, HIV/AIDS, is dead. Authorities declared 21 days of mourning for the liberation hero who ruled from 1964. After the Southern African nation won its independence from Britain. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo says the death of Zambia's founding father and long-term leader Kenneth Kaunda has ended a long list of African leaders who fought colonialism and took over the reins of power at independence. Obasanjo, in a statement issued on Thursday evening, said Africans should be consoled by the fact that Kaunda, who died at 97, is taking a well-deserved rest. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday paid glowing tributes to the late Zambian leader and one of Africa's liberation fighters, Kenneth Kaunda. In a statement issued by Garba Shehu, one of his spokespersons, Buhari described Kaunda as someone who showed uncommon love for his country. Zambia's first president, who ruled for 27 years, was confirmed dead following a battle with pneumonia. He was aged 97. Former Ivory Coast President Laurent Gbagbo made a stop at his party's headquarters after returning to Ivory Coast on Thursday, June the 17th, following 10 years in exile. Gbagbo touched down in Ivory Coast's main city of Abidjan late in the afternoon on a commercial flight from Brussels before climbing into a black SUV for the ride to his party's headquarters. His supporters have eagerly anticipated his return ever since his acquittal in 2019 on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity at the International Criminal Court in The Hague related to his role in the Civil War. Gbagbo has said little about what political role he might play back home. He retains firm support among his base of supporters, particularly in the South and West. Foreign news now. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson suffered an embarrassing defeat when his Conservative Party lost the parliamentary by-election on the outskirts of London, just a few miles from his own seat. Since its creation in 1974, the Conservatives had comfortably held the leafy, affluent Chesham and Amersham constituencies, capturing more than 50% of the vote on every occasion. However, in an astonishing turnaround, the candidate for the Liberal Democrats, a centrist, pro-European Union party, won a majority of 8,028 votes over the Conservative candidate in results announced on Friday morning. Asked about the huge swing, Junior Interior Minister Kate Malthouse said, "It's tough and disappointing. Johnson's parliamentary seat is just 10 miles away in West London. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has said his country needs to prepare for both dialogue and confrontation with the U.S., and especially to get fully prepared for confrontation. This marks the first time Mr. Kim has directly commented on President Joe Biden's administration. North Korea had earlier snubbed efforts by the new U.S. government to establish diplomatic communication with it. The U.S. has been calling for North Korea to give up its nuclear weapons, but Pyongyang has repeatedly refused, and the United Nations Security Council has imposed strict economic sanctions on the East Asian state for its nuclear tests. Coming up next, Jidechi with Sport News.
Welcome to the Sports Update. I am Jidechi Chidi. Now, former Fiorentino manager Gennaro Gattuso is contrary to multiple reports not being considered as a candidate to become the new Tottenham manager. The 43-year-old Italian left the manager's role at Fiorentina on Thursday, just 23 days after being appointed. The club, who is yet to comment on Gattuso, is understood to be looking elsewhere after having ended talks with former Roma manager Paolo Fonseca. The prospect of Gattuso joining Spurs prompted a fan protest, with fans moving to create a No to Gattuso hashtag, which trended on Twitter. Some on social media referenced controversial comments the former Italy midfielder had previously made on subjects such as same-sex marriage and women in football. Earlier in June, Spurs had also been in advanced talk with former Inter Milan and Chelsea boss Antonio Conte, while also persuading their former manager Mauricio Pochettino to leave his role at Paris Saint-Germain. It is now nearly 2 months since Mourinho was sacked after 17 months in charge of Tottenham. And in other stories, Team Nigeria's preparations for the Tokyo Olympic Games recorded a positive result as US-based sprinter Blessing Okabare ran 10.63 seconds, the fastest time by any woman in the world this year. It was also aided by wind by 2.75 seconds. Although unofficially Okabare's time was recorded as 10.62 seconds, the former Olympic medalist won the 100 meters event of the national trials at the Yaba College of Technology, ahead of Rosemary Chukwuma of Delta, who also posted a time of 11.07 seconds. Another Delta athlete, Grace Nwokocha, ran 11.11 seconds to place third. In the men's 100 meters event, Enoch Adegoke from Edo State won in 10.00 seconds, while Ushe Orai Ishekiri of Delta was second in 10.07 seconds, just as Okeogene Brume, the younger brother to long jump athlete Ese Brume, was third in 10.09 seconds. Sheye Ogunleye finished fourth in 10.11 seconds. And that's all for now on the Sports Update. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Jidechi. Up next is business news. The market capitalization of exchange-traded funds listed on Nigerian Exchange Limited rose to 20.32 billion naira in the first quarter of 2021. The NGX said the trade volumes rose by 3,064% from nearly 0.2 million units in first quarter of 2020 to 5.3 million units recorded in quarter first 2021. According to the NGX quarterly report for first quarter of 2021, the Nigerian exchange traded products and the ETF market witnessed a sterling performance since the rise of the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020, resulting in market capitalization of the 20 listed securities rising to 20.32 billion naira. The report showed that the market turnover value traded jumped by 4,556% between between 2020 first quarter and that of 2021, even as 5 of the listed securities were the most active during the period under review. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has granted a non-interest banking license to Lotus Bank Limited. A statement titled CBN grants Lotus Bank license to commence non-interest banking operations said that on Thursday. According to the statement, Lotus Bank seeks to pursue the mission and creating value and growth for all through digital innovation and best-in-class customer experience for Nigerians, the statement said. Founded and chaired by Hajara Adeola, who is also the founder and managing director of Lotus Capital, the pioneers of non-interest finance in Nigeria, the bank said it was starting its operations on a solid foundation of experienced leadership and a strong advisory council of experts. Now, Lotus Bank is managed by a team of seasoned professionals and financial experts led by the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Mrs. Kafilat Aroye, who has over 25 years commercial banking experience. The Senate on Thursday said there was no law governing operations of the power sector in Nigeria currently, but noted that a comprehensive Electricity Act was being worked on and will be out towards the end of this year or in the first quarter of 2022. Chairman, Senate Committee on Power, Senator Gabriel Suswan, said thus on the sidelines of a stakeholders roundtable by legislators and judiciary on the enforcement of technical standards and regulations in the power sector. The roundtable was organized by Nigeria Electricity Management Services Agency to enlighten the lawmakers and judiciary on the roles and responsibilities of NEMSA in Nigeria's power sector. Suswan said that the Senate was also going through the Electricity Acts of Egypt and Morocco, where they had well-developed laws for their power sectors. The federal government has enjoined shippers nationwide to unite and take part in policy formulation and trade regulation in Nigeria, as well as globally as key players in the nation's economy. Bello urged NASAN to speak with one voice so as to boost their bargaining power nationally and internationally. According to him, the purpose of establishing the National Body of Shippers Association, apart from enhancing the bargaining power of the associations to negotiate with their stakeholders locally and internationally, was to increase their visibility in the shipping industry. He lamented that for so long, Nigeria shippers have neglected their roles in the hands of freight forwarders, adding that as cargoes owners, they are supposed to be engaging government directly and even to issue instructions to the NSC. Now, coming up next is entertainment news. American media personality Lala Anthony has filed a divorce from her husband Carmelo Anthony. Anthony filed for divorce from the NBA superstar on Thursday, June 17, 2021. She filed the paperwork in New York and cited irreconcilable differences. An insider told Page 6 the former couple had been separated for a while but remain friends as always after 16 years together, and everything about the divorce is amicable. The report also said the estranged couple's son is their main priority as they plan to move forward with co-parenting. In 2019, Carmelo was accused of cheating when he was seen hanging out on a yacht with another woman on Lala's birthday. He, however, denied the accusation. Nigerian music producer Oladayo Oladeru, popularly known as The Piano, is of the opinion that Nigerian music producers can compete with their counterparts abroad. In an exclusive interview with iBrandTV, BTS crew, The Piano acknowledged the impact of some Nigerian music producers at the international scene. He also emphasized it is imperative for the government to providing the enabling business environment for the music industry in Nigeria to thrive.
Already, like SARS has an international sound with Wizkid and Drake. You know, the Beyonce album P2J is also a Nigerian but based in London. So there are Nigerians already leveling up to that. All we just need is a structure in this country to give the producers that leverage so that they can have money the same way that they are making their money. That's just all. Range of prices. You see, Nigeria is man no man. When you start giving them prices, you know, it turns people off at some point, but it's good. That's why we always keep building your brand so that when you give them your price, they can't say no. And they know that, okay, it's worth this price, what I'm getting. Because for me, it's not just about beat making. I write songs too, and I arrange them. So if it's just a beat maker, your price can be different from someone like me because I mix, I write your songs for you, and I did them. So there's no price range actually, so it differs. Before I charge you first, I will listen to your voice. I have to know you have the talent first. Because I know if you don't have the talent, I can tell you bring 1 million. Because I don't have a lot of work to do. Yeah, it also matters. Because when you see a good talent, why will you have to use the price to scare the person? It's good to actually encourage and see what can come out of that production. Now, doing a song for free, it has to be the fact that you have probably a fan base or you have a channel whereby you can promote a song, because making music is just one thing. Getting it out there is another thing. You get? So because if you do music and it's just been heard in the studio, nobody's hearing it. So with the talent, if you don't have a record label or a sponsor or someone who can put you out there, talent dies. So. That government you just talked about, obviously nothing. I don't know, maybe they are doing something for you in this iBrandTV. But for us, personally, nothing. You know, even the education system is poor. So how would they face music?
And that's it on News Now on this hour. Please follow our iBrandTV social media platforms and subscribe on our YouTube channel for more news updates and other educating programs. I am Michael Nath. Do have a wonderful weekend.